Lifetime contribution for the year. Not for the year, lifetime contribution, sorry. He is one of the founding members of a private telephony company in India and was part of the group of individuals who founded Hutchison Max Telecom, now called Vodafone India, in 1994. Starting with a paging business. After spending 13 years building an all-India operations of the firm, launching Hutch and Orange brands in India, he left Hutchison as the CEO to lead the Maxis group of companies in Malaysia as its group CEO, overseeing the group's Malaysian operations, Maxis, Indian operations, Aircel, Indonesian, Axis, Sri Lankan Telecom, Mobitel. He was also a board director with Bridge Alliance, which is a group of 36 leading mobile operators. In 2009, he led Asia's largest telecom IPO for Maxis, raising US dollars 3.5 billion. And not to forget that he has also led the pioneering data-focused LTE ecosystem infra rollout, addressing the network, devices, content, and services that finally resulted in the September 2016 launch of Reliance Jio Infocom at 1/10 of the data tariffs in the market. The jury was unanimous in its recognition of more than 2 decades of institution building role that he played in Indian telecom and the impact it had on foundation building of the telecom sector. The role that he played in bringing major international players into the liberated Indian telecom market, and along with that, international best practices and technologies had a significant impact on the societal and economic transformation that telecom has been bringing ever since. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to announce that the Voice&Data Lifetime Contribution Award goes to none other than Sandip Das. A big round of applause for Sandip Das. I would like to invite him on the stage to receive the award. A big round of applause for Sandip Das, please. Congratulations, and could we have your acceptance speech, please?
Thank you. It's a slightly long speech, so can somebody get a chair for Sanjay Kaul? Honorable Mr. Khullar, Arvind ji, members of the jury, my fellow winners.
Audible at the end?
I spoke of Khullar ji, Arvind, and the jury. And all my fellow winners, ladies and gentlemen, cyber media, of course, I'm really, truly humbled by getting a lifetime award. There's joy on one side for all the work that has happened over the years, but there's also sorrow. I suddenly feel extremely, extremely old. And it's almost like somebody saying, there are no more awards now for you. So it's like, so while this is a signal for me to retire, I've actually repurposed my life. But I must, with the permission of Mr. Khullar, Dr. Khullar, take the advantage of this position to narrate 2 extremely quick, small stories. One is that, it's great to know that if you go to a place called Bandra in Bombay, you will find that there is a poster with a lady who sells dogs. And there you will find 2 pictures. One is of a person that most of you know. Her name is Sushmita Sen. The other one is a person you've just got to know, which is Sandip Das. So what is he doing next to Sushmita Sen? That's the closest I've got to a Miss Universe contest. The fact is that I had the privilege during my life to put out one of the finest ads ever produced for network, which is now legendary in history called the pug ad, the famous Hutch pug ad. So anytime this lady sold pugs to anybody, she would say, see, the CEO of Hutch has bought a pug from me, so you can't get more genuine pugs. So for most people, it's important to know that pugs grew in population. So besides telecom, sometimes you create demand for which you don't get any monetization. So, and half the dogs in Bombay City were called Hutch. So that's something I remember very fondly. The second one happened under some tragic circumstances. I had a terrific boss called Ashim Ghosh, with whom I learned many things, and I consider him one of the finest executives that I've ever worked for. And one day when there was a flood in Bombay, he came storming into my room because one of the leading publications had put out his face along with 4 other faces on the newspaper saying, the 5 villains of Bombay. One was the municipal commissioner, the other one was the power person, the third was somebody else, and fourth and fifth was Ashim. He said, how can they put this here? And I said, Ashim, relax, don't worry. Today you have come of age. Now telephony is an essential utility. The crowd is trying to tell you that they can't live without you. Take a dinghy, get onto the water, and salvage some press photographs, rescuing the city. So somewhere along the line, mobility and telephone has become a part of all of us. I was in the board of Sri Lanka Telecom, where I had the opportunity to write a white paper for President Rajapaksa after Sri Lankan war, and in which I wrote to him, when you cannot build roads, I can give you a grand plan for building information highways. So that's where you substitute infrastructure. So I will end here by saying that history will judge us, not us by the kind of SIM cards we sold or the prices that we gave away, but the impact that we had on society. And I think it's very important for us to understand that going forward. I'd like to thank everyone along my journey, all my colleagues who made me look like a great CEO all my life. Thank you very much. I'd like to also say that this industry beats itself a lot, but we have to be very proud of the contribution of the regulator, the DOT, the BSNL, the operators, the dealer networks. All of us have put together something that has actually changed this country. And we have to be very proud of it. Not one of us in this entire team of the persons and people that I mentioned have contributed any less. Today, I'm extremely glad, as I take my Lifetime Achievement Award, the baton of young leadership passes on to people like Gopal. I think the industry is in extremely, extremely great hands. One last thing was that when I was 28 years old, I rented my first apartment, and the owner of that apartment who leased it to me was somebody called Colonel Anil Tandon. I believe now he's a brigadier. Thank you very much, and God bless.